Welcome to the Lost Lowdown podcast 124 with your hosts Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
We are back continuing our season 2 commentary series with episode 218, Dave, voted by an overwhelming majority as every Lost fan's favorite episode ever.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. You know, the constant, and then walkabout, and then Dave.
And Dave tops them all. I can't walk down the street without bumping into somebody who was like, "Did you see Dave?" It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool how they brought back Dave later in the series too. It was good how they ever talked about him again.
Yeah,
Like,
he was such a central, pivotal character. His origin, of course, being in this episode. It's really the pre-Jacob, if you will. I mean,
yeah, totally.
There would be no Jacob or Man in Black without Dave, I'm sure, as we all know.
Yeah. No, and I also like how, like, in the previous episodes to this, they were talking about Dave a lot also.
Yeah, well, there was all these hintings. You know, I remember, like, when Saeed was like talking about Mr. D, and we're like, who's Mr. D? And there's like all this mystery.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was a cool mystery, and finally we get the answer in this episode. It's very exciting.
It is. I mean, you can't have Lost without Dave, right? try to spell Lost without the words in Dave, the letters in Dave. You can do it.
So how long is the Snark Fest gonna last?
The whole podcast. Come on.
Okay. I was like, I don't know when I can break this. Dave is not a great episode. I have to say.
Oh, what? Wow. I'm offended as a Lost fan and a podcaster.
As a human being. Wow. Yeah, no, I understand. I have to say, I mean, I think actually there have been worse episodes in season 2, but it's just really. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe somehow I'll change my mind, but it just seems really pointless and just not very interesting, you know. And I think, luckily, I believe this is the last episode, kind of, that really talks about Hurley's weight problems. You know?
Yes.
I feel like they, you know, in the early part of the show, they couldn't really get away from that. And, you know, this is like the pinnacle of that, because Dave is like all about, you know, making Hurley eat and stuff like that. And we have this, you know, reveal of the stash and stuff like that. And it's just, it's all very, you know, all of his psychological problems like come back to this eating thing, you know. And it's like, he's in the institution, you know, indirectly at least, because of the eating thing. And it's like, damn, you know, like, it's just a bit too much, you know. At least later in the series, he goes in the institution for some other reason.
Yeah.
You know, he isn't just like, you know, I'm overweight again, lock me up, you know, like.
It's just such a weird thing, you know. You start with the first big Hurley episode, Numbers, fantastic episode.
Oh yeah.
Then you go to Everybody Hates Hugo, pretty good episode, you know, a lot of good stuff there. Well, some good stuff there.
I wasn't go that far, but yeah, it's not bad. It's a bit like trivial, but it's not bad.
And then you get Dave, and I think it's really the beginning of the end for a lot of the Hurley episode, the Hurley-centric episodes.
Yeah.
I remember Trisha Tanaka's dead not being too great either.
Yeah. And I mean that's really the last proper Hurley episode, you know, because after that we go into flash forwards and time traveling and stuff, and they really don't do a real Hurley episode, you know, after that. I mean, flash sideways and stuff, but like, I think they just, they kind of hit a wall with him, and I mean, they hit a wall with all the characters actually, but I think especially because they already had the big reveal about the Numbers. They're not really going to top that.
And yeah.
So now it's
early.
Exactly. Yeah. So now it's just like, okay, how did he end up in the institution? You know,
Hmm.
like that's what they're gonna talk about.
Yeah, I just remember it just not being. I remember watching it and calling the reveal before it happened, and going, okay, well, that's boring.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a M Night Shyamalan kind of
Hmm.
ending, and yeah, it's just, and even worse, I think. And like a part of me appreciates this, but another part of me hates it. Like they really try to sell sort of an explanation for the whole show. I mean, he tries at the end to like say, "Hey, this is all in your head, and
Yeah,
all you got to do is jump off the cliff, and then you'll wake up," you know. And it's just
yeah,
like, to me, it's just kind of annoying, and like the episode's already trivial, but to try to amp it up so much, like they want us to really buy in, even
mhm,
consider the idea that that might be, you know, an answer. I mean, to me, that just seems like it's depressing to even think about, like that
yeah.
being the
It's
answer for
weird to
Bob.
dangle a really bad conceit and go, "This could be the whole idea, guys." It's like I really hope it's not because that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, exactly. And like for the drama to work in the last scene, I feel like you have to at least consider it,
Yeah.
you know. And you know, for Hurley, like there's no conflict unless he takes it seriously,
Hmm.
you know, as an idea. and and so that means that as the audience, if we're like, no fucking way, that's the answer, and we write it off immediately, then we can't really sympathize with Hurley if he considers it.
Yeah, and we're
So,
just waiting for them to tell us no, it's not. We're just waiting for the story to be over because we know,
yeah,
if you're hoping that's not the answer, then you're just waiting for them to tell you that's not the answer.
exactly. And it's just like season 2 episode 18, Dave, is not the episode where they explain the island, you know?
The island is named Dave, of course. Come on.
Like that, it's just ridiculous that, oh, whoops, we explained the whole show in the middle of the season. Oh
Whoops.
well.
Well, it was an accident. We meant to save it for season 6, and somehow it got written into season 2. Oops.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like no, there's just no way. That just violates everything I believe in with regards to television. It's just there's some lines you can't cross.
Yeah.
And I just think Dave, just it's just too ridiculous to take seriously, you
Hmm.
know. And so it just bugs me. And I think coming off such a great last episode, it's just such a letdown. I even remember this from like rewatching this with other people. I remember like, you know, because I was recommending Lost to everyone I could find. I remember watching with other people, and we got the lockdown, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's so cool! The Blast Storm
Yeah,
map."
and then you want to watch the very next episode.
Tells another, "Oh my god, we gotta watch the next one," and I'm thinking, "Oh god, it's Dave. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Dave. We just have to get through it." You know, and it's like, no, the end of season 2 is good. Just sit through this, you know.
Yeah.
But like at the time, we had a whole week to deal with this episode, you know, and it's like episodes like this can make you think like, what are they doing? Like,
There was a lot of what are they doing throughout the show.
yeah,
I wonder why they didn't try to sell a little bit more this whole Dave idea, and like have Dave show up, an episode or two before this. Have
yeah,
really see a guy that looks like Dave walking with the red
yeah.
shirts, and
Would've been way
like
better.
like Jack's dad or something, just a little something.
Yeah. That's what was cool about that. I didn't even remember that they did that, but they actually showed him see Christian before the episode where it actually talks about it,
Yeah.
and that makes it. I mean, for someone who loves like serialized television, like that's what you want to see because it makes it feel like it's a cohesive whole of a show. It's
Yeah.
not just like what bullshit adventures can we come up with this week? You know, like it feels like a real thing. You're right. That would have been way better if we saw, you know, but they didn't even cast the part until this episode. I'm sure. They didn't come up with the character
Yeah.
until this episode, so there was no way to foreshadow it. You know. Like because it's not integral to the fabric of the show. I mean, I feel like when they were talking about the season as a whole, I don't think Dave even came up.
Yeah.
So they would have to like have more of a long-term plan to make that happen. But I totally agree that like this episode, the whole idea would be way more effective if it were foreshadowed
Mm-hmm.
in the previous episodes. And they foreshadowed the food stash in the episode. So like, good job on that. But they
when he does the food thing, what was that? The 2 episodes ago. And it's,
yeah.
Why not? My friend Dave showed me where the stash.
Yeah.
just name drop or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And like the answer would be disappointing, of course, but like I still think it would be better executed because it just
one hand we're advocating for them to spend more time on something that doesn't matter. but that would have made it at least worth our time.
It would have made it better. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily make it good, but it definitely would have improved it significantly, I think. And I don't know.
Well, let's know what you think by watching it. Let's figure it out.
All right.
Yeah, let's get our players ready and sync up and go down this rabbit hole.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I am ready.
And my player is being Davish. Okay, I'm ready too. You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Already hate this episode.
No previously on Lost is a bad sign.
Yep. That means anything you've seen before doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, they're not going to talk about Dave again, so it just adds to the feeling that he doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Not one line later.
Are they?
I thought I could go jogging and be fit.
Be fit already. It's been 5 minutes. The sickness?
Sickness!
Bro's got the sickness. Quarantine him. Give him the vaccine. Quick. Just breathe, Hurley. You can trust me. I was in the mental institution with you.
Get that hair out of your face. It's just driving me crazy. Now, I find this reveal kind of like, what's the word? Disconcerting. Because of the like sentimental montage at the end of Everybody Hates Hugo, where he's trying to decide what to do with the food, and at the end decides to give it.
He gave all the food away except for most of it.
And it's like that totally takes away from that episode when he's like hoarding insane amounts of it just for himself.
Yeah. He tried to get rid of it before. Like, yeah, that was so liberating when it was, because that's, I guess that was the difference in that episode. He was liberating from the conflict of his choice of what to do with it. Now he's, trying to liberate from, I guess, the monkey on his back that is a tub of mayonnaise.
Exactly. Now, this also bothered me when I originally watched it. Because, like, I mean...
Awful. I thought you meant your thing about large amounts of food. But yeah, just wasting all this food. People are starving.
Large amounts of food is pretty bad, too, actually. There's some really gross shit in this episode.
But, like, if Jack and like, Saeed came over here and saw... just like destroying all this valuable nutrition.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you understand that we're stuck on an island right now?
No one's come to rescue us. We might be here forever.
we have no reason. I mean, yeah, we just got a pallet drop, but we have no way of controlling it. We don't know when we're going to get more. We don't know how long we're going to get stuck here. They don't know shit about the island yet. You know, they don't know what else there is out there.
Now, yeah, they did just get a pallet drop, but I guess Hurley didn't see that stuff, right?
Oh, he hasn't seen
And
it.
they're walking through piles of food and not even like concerned about. I guess this is the pallet drop they're going the right.
Yeah, I think so. That was so weird when Jen and Slim just came running by.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
guess
come
that's a good juxtaposition though. I'm free of all the food. Okay, here's a whole bunch more food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, this is sort of like the thing with Charlie and the heroin statues. You know, like
Yeah.
he gets rid of the heroin, and then a big pile of heroin falls in his lap. And that's how Hurley feels about this. This is one of those reasons for the purgatory theory.
Yeah. Until it was daytime in the next episode.
And I think this is the scene where Charlie offers his theory about the pallet drop being related to the lockdown.
Oh, jeez.
Hurley!
Hurley, mate! We already had that episode.
Yeah, exactly. We are not doing that episode again, please.
He's been to a team building camp.
He probably has. He probably conned them all.
Uh-oh, who's that?
Yeah.
Evil incarnate.
Yeah, I know. See, I feel like he almost sells the creepiness thing there, but at a certain point, mainly because, you know, at least originally, like, it's in his head, he's got too much of Hurley's personality to be really scary.
Yeah.
You know, so just it doesn't work like the Christian thing.
Well, listen, someone being where they shouldn't be and smiling ominously is scary, you know, by itself. But when you actually have to talk and show personality, and it whittles that down.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first shots sort of work, but yeah, as soon as and I guess Christian's thing was he just never said anything.
Yeah.
And that
he didn't like run. He just would disappear.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, is this the thing? I'm not sure if this is. It doesn't make any sense.
I forgot what he finds here.
Like, is he gonna find like peanut butter on a leaf or something?
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's a shoe. Okay,
so this is proving it's real.
That one's later. Yeah, it's real.
But Hurley, you can't imagine a shoe if you can imagine a whole person. Right? Imagine.
Yeah, no, that's clearly true. Spinning that shoe. I remember in this scene, like, wondering if she could see the shoe or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the audience wants, is her to comment on the shoe.
Yeah. And, like, then he hides it, so it's like... But I guess maybe he doesn't want her to see it.
Yeah.
Because then it really will... I don't know. Actually, if she sees it, what does that mean? Like, Dave has manifested in the real world? I guess that is what happened, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but he never... does he ever even talk to anyone about that? God.
I don't remember. So...
I feel like that would have helped some characters if they knew this happened.
Yeah.
They could add it to the list. And then maybe not be fooled by Locke later.
Right.
Oh yeah, and this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him back at the end. I thought that was strange. Island picture in the background.
Oh, nice.
They love doing that. Just to mess with you. I remember there was some really weird conspiracy theories about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
That he was like in on some crazy conspiracy to cover up the fact that Dave really existed.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a whole discussion about that.
And I think maybe he was even part of Dharma at some point. Like it got really.
Well, I remember there's a controversy about the picture he takes, right? It's
the picture doesn't match.
Production photos don't match, and it's just
but I think that's just a continuity error. That's just like a standard thing that happens.
yeah.
But they made it
So
mean
non-matching that it looks so on purpose.
Yeah. See, and that was like sort of convincing that he's taking part in a basketball.
Yeah.
You know, because like their game's so disorganized. Like
This is when he this is when it's obvious he's not around.
yeah.
I would have liked, and I don't think they ever give us an explanation of Dave, right? Like, it's not like his older brother.
No, there is no answer.
No, his stepdad, or it's like I would have loved to know why his issue manifests in this form of this man here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think the prevailing theory was that it was like Libby's husband or something, and he was killed in the accident, that Hurley had.
Yeah.
I think that's they mirrored his toe wiggling scene. I don't remember that. Anyway, I think that's like the most reasonable theory, I guess, but they really never said. And they said he's called Dave because of his father and stuff, but like it's just some weird abstract manifestation of his desire to eat.
Yeah, we all have one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just that's how he envisions appetite, I guess. He looks like Evan Handler. Crutches.
Who travels with crutches?
Oh, she didn't say that, but she should have.
Didn't they just prove he's not Henry?
I think he couldn't have escaped, actually.
Yeah, during the lockdown.
Yeah, because like he got up in the vents, but he couldn't necessarily get out of the station.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not clear. If they want us to believe that's true, that's not clear. Because I would assume there were blast doors in all the rooms.
Yeah.
That's normally how blast doors work.
I love that. Say's no, let me.
Yeah.
Dude had a lot of cash.
Yeah, this is Saeed, like, he doesn't even need to do this. He already trumped Ben in the last episode, but this time he's like, he's got an answer again. And he's like, oh, really? That's what happened? Guess what?
Well, this is negating the story he just told about his neck being broken. Already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's sort of one-upping his story a second time.
He let him lie some more, and then he made him look bad some more.
Exactly.
Well, obviously, he did all that, and then he climbed back up in the balloon and somehow broke his neck.
Broke his neck.
Climbing back up.
Yeah, Ben probably didn't kill him.
Probably not. He had him killed, though.
Yeah, probably.
Me. I'm talking about me. No, I'm talking about me.
Tom's like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you mean I'm no one?
Now, I guess he could be talking about Jacob, although we know
Yeah.
Jacob is so hands off that he doesn't even care what's going on with this scenario here.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the story of Ben and Jacob and the cabin and all that is very confused. So, like, I kind of feel like maybe he's talking about Jacob, but it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. I can't believe Saeed was just going to shoot him in the head.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
He's just like, I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm just going to
Fuck
shoot this
this.
guy in the head. But you know what? It's the thing he should have done.
Yeah. It would change the show a lot, though.
I got it covered, John. Just lie there helpless. Do what you do best, to just lie there.
Bring me a dish or something. I just need to throw things. Oh, Bruzy face Ben.
I know.
Oh no. This subplot.
How did he bless himself?
Yeah, I assume he had to cool off and he just wanted a bonus.
A bonus? Well, if you're going to put some water to cool off, I mean, does that really cool you off? Like tapping water on 4 parts of your body?
Well, maybe a little. Yes, I'm founding a Starbucks franchise. On the island.
He's going to get in on the ground floor, literally. Ground floor.
No, but really, it's an untapped market.
Yeah. People
My
need
God.
coffee.
Who doesn't want coffee here?
If you build it, they will come. That's how they get rescued. People from the neighboring islands or whatever realize there's a Starbucks that opens up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fish crackers.
It just makes it sound gross.
That makes it sound like it's crackers that are either fish flavored or for fish.
Yeah, it's like fish biscuits.
Yeah.
Fish biscuits were for the bears, and they tasted like fish. That was the point.
Exactly. Bears like fish.
Because bears like fish, but these are like fish crackers.
These are like goldfish knockoff goldfish crackers.
Exactly. But they shouldn't be fish crackers.
Yeah.
They should be like cracker fish or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better, but
It's not, but
that's so gross that he couldn't swallow before
because of that, that's why they needed him to be able to.
Okay. Yeah, see now it's just too real. We're getting his perspective as he runs. That makes him less mysterious.
Yeah. Now, doesn't he know Dave isn't real?
Yeah, that's the reveal of the end of the flashback. Is that Dave's not real, but that's the thing. He knows Dave isn't supposed to be real, but I think because he found the shoe, and because he hit him with a rock, he's starting to question his own sanity, I guess. Because he's either he's really manifested, which is insane, or I'm really crazy and I'm hallucinating all this stuff happening.
Yeah. He's right about that.
I think celery is decent, I mean, by itself it's not much, but
It's like a holder for water, I mean, it's like a plant water.
It's basically like plant water, but I think for
Crunchy plant water.
it's not so bad.
I have a boat. It's my wife Libby's and I's boat. See, he's looking at Dave.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he can see him because that guy's there.
Yeah. The actor is on set.
But yeah, this is the thing that doesn't match. They took it at night or something, and I think the angle's different.
Yeah, it just. Yeah, it's just.
But like that's a. I mean the picture, the Photoshop with like Miss Hawking and Desmond is like atrocious.
There's
Like,
bad production work.
they didn't pay a lot of attention to photos. Chocolate graham cookies.
They mean Oreos.
I think so.
Of course you have to twist it. Everybody knows that. He just threw the whole thing away.
Yeah, I know. Like, is it really?
Honestly,
Honestly,
it's because he can't eat because they have a scene with dialogue, right? That's
yeah.
why you don't see a lot of scenes, even when people are at restaurants and stuff. They can't really be eating and talking.
Yeah. And they're always like ordering something and then leaving it full.
Yeah.
Like they'll just let it sit there. It kind of drives me crazy
Or at
sometimes.
the end of dinner, and they're clearing the table, and they just ate.
It's like, I'll have a beer, and then they get a beer and they have like one sip and then leave.
And then start the whole scene, and then the scene's over.
Yeah, because there's just no time. But yeah, you're right. That's just, yeah. There's just no way around that.
Why didn't he go to Jack? Who's the doctor?
I think he wants to like treat himself. He doesn't want to actually uh, consult a professional.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he figures Sawyer will just give him the drugs and then, he'll be fine. But Jack might start asking questions and, he doesn't really want to deal with it. This scene is ridiculous, by the way.
It is ridiculous.
But I thought, this is like a cartoon fight.
Doesn't help that everyone's laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, honestly, Hurley could really hurt Sawyer if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, totally.
Yet somehow it's just all fun and games.
Yeah, like he didn't like throw a punch or like do anything like he just sort of like rolled around on top of it.
Well, no, he was hitting him.
But he wasn't really punching him. He was sort of just like
Yeah, he wasn't
Hey.
pummeling him.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, Kate loves this.
Yeah, she does.
Nice. He should have said, "Don't you have somebody you should be following?"
Yeah.
That means you did something.
I didn't do nothing.
Giggles.
That's why I call you Giggles.
So you giggles, Freckles. Your Freckles laugh. Unless your name is Peanut Butter, I don't want to have you chew me.
Uh,
You know how many calories is in a tub that big?
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He could survive off that for like
The group could survive off of that for a long time.
a lot of protein and fat in there.
Yeah, like two tablespoons. I think it's like 200 calories,
Yeah. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it's really potent. Yeah, there's gonna be a scene with the
Look
peanut
at
butter soon. It's
It's
just
so much that his backpack can't even take it.
of course. But this is the scene I thought we were in earlier.
Yeah.
This scene really grossed me out.
And by the way, backpacks would never rip like that.
Like this, I just
Yeah.
don't do this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so.
Come on, though. You would be tempted. You got a leaf full of peanut butter. You want to lick that. Come on. Maybe once, not twice.
Oh, just stop!
Did it come? It's oozing out.
Yeah, like why does it have to ooze out?
Yeah.
Fucking swallow it! Stop! Stop letting it hang! Stop!
Opens his mouth and it's still in there.
Swallow! There you go, finally.
Maybe,
Oh my
I don't know how many times he had to do this scene, but I'm sure like he doesn't necessarily want to be eating that.
Yeah, true.
Because he's gonna die soon. It'd have been awesome if they would have tied in all this Hurley being crazy and his weight, his food issues, into his ability to talk to dead people.
Yeah.
You see a picture of past patients on the wall, and Dave is there. You know.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's what people are trying to do with making it Libby's husband.
Yeah.
It was like, then it would be, yeah. But I think it kind of goes the other way, like because we see this Dave thing, like when he starts seeing the dead people, we think he's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he thinks that too, and so it's sort of the other way around.
Yeah.
Like it makes it makes when he starts seeing dead people like.
But the idea that he is able to visually manifest a hallucination this detailed, where an actor has to play him, could lend himself to being that perceptive to disembodied spiritual forces,
Right?
AKA seeing ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like his mind is open enough for that interpretation.
Right. I see what you're saying. I see. Not that it's a case, but it's like.
Mm-hmm. Well, it can go either way, but yeah, I think like you're saying, like
capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But I think my main theory, here's the one where it really doesn't match.
Yeah.
My main theory is that it comes from the island, and so he has to go there first. Like he doesn't see dead people before he goes to the island.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a confirmed thing, but that's just sort of what I want.
Well, but I wouldn't expect him to see dead people off the island, right?
Yeah, that's true. But it's like he gets that power there. The same way like Miles got his power from the island, to talk to dead bodies or whatever he does, Like that's like I thought that it sort of went in that category. People that got like special abilities. Because I think with the exception of this, which maybe it's an exception, all the dead people he saw was after he had been on the island.
Yeah. But that's likely because dead people are trapped on the island, right? So he would only see them there. I don't know. I think you can make a case either way, even for Miles, that he may have had that power to talk to dead people.
Yeah, no, they never really.
And the island activates it or something, or
yeah, exactly. Like they never really clarified like how that works. I mean, they never clarified a lot of stuff about how the island like does things.
Yeah.
But like, that's just sort of what I wanted to believe. Like, that maybe it just activated the power or something. But I sort of want to believe it's involved in some way.
Yeah, I love the Great Escape while having food in your hand.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. Like, that's why I really believe Dave here really is in his head, because he's just like weirdly fixated specifically on Hurley's problem.
Yeah, and he's using like kind of slang language, and
he's totally using Hurley's like way of speaking also.
Where'd he get the keys?
I don't remember. So I missed it. He stole them from somewhere? I don't know. He must have.
Tastes like peanut butter.
He's gonna say that same line, basically. Cheeseburgers.
It's like whatever you want, the food keeps changing.
What?
Here being the island.
But I must have gotten out of here, because I'm on an island now.
Yeah. I do like tricking your subconscious to, that's Fight Club, right? It's like totally. Fight Club. Like, oops, sorry, I tricked you.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's very Fight Club. Yeah, that's not going to work, because it's the Smug Monster now.
It's got peanut butter on it. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Lick it off.
Yeah, seriously. You gonna eat that?
How could you be ready?
You want to flashback about that?
Yeah. What?
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Lost.
And America is going to be really pissed off if that.
And I waited 2 seasons to tell you that. I let you go on hallucinating island adventures for 2 seasons before I finally came to tell you this.
Yeah, like he's gonna make an argument for it later on. Well, okay, I'll say what I want to say until he actually says what he says, so that it makes a little more sense.
He always looks blind in that shot to me because he's looking all weird.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. He's actually making his argument now.
Yeah.
So like the problem with this argument is that if you like cherry pick certain things, this can sound convincing, but there's a lot of shit that's happened.
And the non-Hurley related stuff, mostly.
Exactly. That has nothing, what about Sun and Jin, what about Claire? Like, all that stuff has nothing to do with Hurley. And it makes no sense that would be in his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have perspectives outside of even the Losties, of things that happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There's like others, and there's all kinds of shit going on, and it's just like there's just no. It's just not plausible. If like the whole show were about Hurley, then maybe I could try to believe it.
What? Did he just say the imaginary version of himself is dating?
Yeah, he did.
In that bathrobe?
Yeah. No, bathrobes are
chicks dig bathrobes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is weird. He's like, no. Back then I was real, but now I'm part of your subconscious.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah,
that's what he meant. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whereas the reality is, it's the opposite.
Yeah. You did. Bringing me here and suggesting I jump. So, from the perspective of the whole show, is a theory this is Man in Black trying to get one of the candidates off the list?
I would say that's the retcon answer, yes.
Yeah.
I think definitely it is. It's a little bit problematic for various reasons, but mainly the fact that this guy never existed, seemingly. But and this scene is a bit weird too. But I guess he can do that. Like, why not? He's not injured by anything.
Yeah.
I guess if he wants, he can just jump off a cliff. I wish we got to see him do more of that. I feel like he didn't take advantage of his power sometimes. I also sort of like the idea that he torments people with their own like problems.
Yeah, he gets in their head and then projects himself as their own worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he's sort of like it that way, the Stephen King character. But I feel like he didn't exploit that once he came out into the world. Like, they stopped doing that, and I don't know. I feel like he lost something when he stopped doing it.
Yeah,
because I think that was a really interesting aspect, and it made him scarier. And I wish he would appear as Dave again later, but well. But yeah, I think at the time, I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. It might just be at the time it's in his head again, and the food brought about a relapse, and it might be just as simple as that. But I think for what the story ends up being, yeah, he totally is just trying to trick a candidate into killing himself. No, he doesn't.
God has no idea what's going on this island.
I forgot this. I did not remember this line was in this episode. Oh, Ben.
So it's like, what could you possibly mean by that?
A, what do you mean? B, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
Like, what is he trying to get Locke to do based on telling him that? Like, I don't really know.
Maybe this is mirroring the Hurley stuff. You know, Hurley.
You're right.
Something like that. I don't know.
It's pretty similar. Like, he's about to say that the hatch is pointless.
To get him to disbelieve or to believe in something else.
He's gonna say he didn't push the button.
I have a PhD in hieroglyphics.
Actually, that makes me wonder if he knows. Like, I wonder if the hieroglyphics really did come up when he went over there, or if he actually knew. Because, I mean, that's true. The hieroglyphics do come up.
I think they probably did come up.
They probably just did come up because he pushed it until the last second.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the most plausible.
Wait long enough.
But I mean, Ben should know, because it should be in others' lore at least. I mean, Alpert was there. They helped with the hydrogen bomb and stuff. I mean, they should know that there's a very real possibility that there's something real going on in this station.
Yeah.
And telling him that.
Wait, I'm sorry. A moment of silence for "I'm done lying," please. As he continues to lie for 4 more seasons.
That is a great screen capture with the subtitle.
Yeah.
No, I'm done lying.
Yeah, that's the best.
Season 2, episode 18. I'm done. Thank you. Never
Told
again.
my last lie. Then why did you say Sun and Jin saw him? She's not real either.
It's convenient that Dave's not there when she shows up.
Yeah.
Because if Dave had been there, she would have seen him. I think.
Well, good question. I mean, if he's Smokey, she should have seen him, but in this part of the show,
it's not clear.
I don't think she saw the shoe, so.
Yeah, and the shoe was
The shoe could still have been real. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like they play it ambiguously enough that it could be the smoke monster or in his head.
Yeah.
No, actually, Hurley, there's another reason for that.
Does she not remember Hurley?
Oh, she remembers Hurley.
She's just choosing not to tell him?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
It's pretty weird.
Maybe they had not written that in her story yet, maybe? So she isn't going to say it or something, or...
Yeah, basically. I mean, okay. I mean, we'll see when the episode ends, but, like, my sense from her facial expression is that she doesn't want to talk about her time in a mental institution. And so she doesn't want to tell Hurley that she saw him there.
Yeah, but he's about to kill himself. Over his psyche. Shouldn't she show that she can relate and they have this specific experience together and that she made it through?
It's true. That's what makes it seem like she's got something to hide. That like there's something in it for her not to tell him.
So this is proof to me she did not see the slipper.
Yeah, no, she didn't see it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well. Who says a kiss can't save a life?
Wow. A single tear.
Mm-hmm. Cynthia Watchos, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like that's like one of those big acting things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Pop the one tear.
There might have been one on the other side. We just didn't see it.
That's true. That's true.
But it still looked good.
But popping the one tear,
Yeah.
you know,
The one
not
tear
bad.
trick. You know the trick to the single tear, right?
No.
Tilt your head. Tilt your head to that side. No.
Oh, so, yeah. I see.
I always thought that shot is so weird. The way she's standing on those rocks and it looks so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
If you don't get me killed,
Here it is. Here it is. Okay, America, get ready.
get ready. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What?
Yeah. Like it's a weird, ambiguous note. Like why? Like he says, "Do you think I can change?"
This
You know, and
yeah.
like
This is showing us Dave never existed back then,
right.
and that she knew about Hurley and knew that Dave didn't exist. If she's conscious, I don't know what she's doing, but
Yeah, it looks like she's so out of it. She didn't even
yeah.
wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, because she just took those pills. She didn't even know what she did.
Hmm. Yeah. And like,
I mean, great ending. I mean, because you don't see that coming at all.
totally not.
And I like the idea that we like zoom into her head and the whole show is in her head, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Because she was going through something there. That's the best part of the entire episode.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. I think Ben's scenes were decent and like like it's okay, but some of those Dave scenes are too long, I think. Like it seems like they just talk and talk and talk and it's like it's not interesting enough to just like watch them, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree. The ending, it's so weird watching that now because, you know, knowing what happens later.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that ending suggests things that do not come to fruition at
Yeah.
all.
Well, like they would develop it more.
Yeah, exactly.
For
like
starters.
there is no follow up to that at all.
Yeah.
And like the
Well,
way
except for when we see them meet, right? There's that episode. Is that the Trisha Tanaka when she meets him in the restaurant?
no, that's like Flash Sideways. That's like season 6.
Oh, really? Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's way later.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Libby appears in season 3. I don't think she appears. I guess Michael sees her ghost a couple times, but she really doesn't
Yeah,
appear.
oh,
Until
yeah, I forgot
Flash
she's about to die real soon here.
Yeah, exactly.
Time for Flash.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No, but like, that ending. I mean,
It,
like
what makes Lost. It's guess what you don't see coming.
yeah, like it's really like they get you to buy into this moment, you know. And he says, "You think I can really change?" And it's like, yeah, I do, you know. And it's supposed to be this uplifting, you know, sort of heartwarming and whatever, you know, where they have this connection and stuff like that. And it's great for Hurley, you know. And then first they have her face just drop as soon as he's not looking at her, and it's like, okay, that's weird. You know, and then they cut to this, and it's implied that there's a connection between the two.
Well,
you know,
there's layers, right? Because when her face drops, you think, okay, is it as simple as she's lying to Hurley? Does she not believe he can change, Or is it okay? Is it about her own experience about people changing, and then they flash back to this thing, and
Yeah.
then you go, oh, okay, like what is that? And you have an extra layer of what that means,
Yeah.
and is it saying that she didn't change or couldn't change? It reflects about her present personality.
Yeah, it's like, is she still crazy?
Mhm.
And we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Like, has she been hiding? Like, it's like it suggests like there's something that we haven't found out about her that explains, why she was in the hospital and like, why she's skeptical about changing.
Here's a question. I mean, this is just a production thing, but I guess you would have to assume part of the reason Hurley doesn't remember her explicitly is her hair color is different.
Yeah.
In the past, how come her hair color, if that's her natural color, how come it doesn't grow in while she's on the show? Or whatever. I feel like her hair is different.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, maybe, I guess. So, what day is this on the island? Let's see what date is it. Maybe you could say she bleached her. She dyed her hair blonde very soon before the flight.
Maybe she put some hair bleach in the.
Dharma brand hair bleach. That's the answer for everything. This is day. What does it say? The day.
It should be like
62.
60 something. Yeah.
So this is 2 months. So yeah, the dye should have wore off.
Yeah.
Her roots should be showing.
Yeah, but yeah. That's not. I mean,
it's just a little production thing. They're not. I mean, I don't know. Cynthia Wanko's gonna be blonde anyway, so
I think she is. Well, I'm not sure, but I think they wanted her to look strikingly different.
Yeah.
And she plays it up too. Like, she looks really crazy.
Oh no, she's. That's what I was saying about, like, you could just zoom in her mind and see what's going on in it, because she's actively processing something in there, and it's probably Bizarro world in there.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like oh my god, like what is going on with this character? Like, it really feels like she has something interesting that she's hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And like and it's just so evocative, and I guess as time went on, and I hadn't watched the episode for a while, it sort of faded in my mind how strong that ending is.
Yeah.
But it really sets the stage for something interesting to develop.
Yeah. It's Libby's best moment. It really is. Next to her death.
Yeah, no, totally. Because, like, so far, there really isn't much to her character, besides, like, she's a nice lady. She likes Hurley. She helped a guy, reset his leg. I mean, like, there's really not much there. Go
ahead.
If you compare her to, like, Ana Lucia or Mr. Echo or Bernard, like, they all have these really specific backstories, and, like, their characters are fleshed out to a certain extent, but, like, she's just sort of there, and then they throw this at you, it's the first real information we have about her backstory, and it's interesting and surprising, and they've been foreshadowing it, by the way, unlike Dave, because Hurley's been saying, where do I recognize you from?
Yeah, and he brings it up right before that scene. He goes, remember when when he's on the cliff, remember when I said I remembered you from somewhere?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's like they spend the time to foreshadow it, making it seem like it matters, But then, like, they just totally
I think
didn't bother to follow up.
The other thing that's interesting when I was saying about layers with that flashback adds so many layers, because we spent the whole episode dealing with Hurley's psyche, this character that had this strange motivation, trying to get him to believe XYZ, and kind of doing this seesaw effect of, is this guy real? Is Hurley crazy or not? Back and forth, and then we get a resolution, and then you get this flashback, and it almost hands off what Dave was doing to Hurley to her, and then you have to question: is she now trying to take him in some direction, usher him into some, like, it's like, okay, this is really odd that we were just dealing with Hurley and reality and his mental state, and now we leave him in the hands of who we in 1 second we thought she was trustworthy character, and now we're not so sure.
Yeah.
He's, the guardian of his future growth.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It throws that whole thing into question that, we're supposed to invest in at the end of the episode, and
yeah, and there's an inexplicable reason why she likes Hurley. I don't think anyone can name why. He's got nice hair. And I think it calls into question is what's her motivation for liking Hurley now? Now that they've got this seemingly shared past, it's like, oh, is this an ulterior motive?
Totally. I mean, in a normal like thriller or something, there would totally be a second part of that story where we find out her ulterior motive.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's totally what they're suggesting. But I mean, with the ending they go with, it's all genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no, she's not really hiding anything except the fact that she was there.
Yeah.
And like that just seems kind of empty compared to like by ending the episode with it. I mean, they're implying it matters, and they're implying it's not nothing.
And they're implying they're going to come back to it, you at least then you assume that it's going to be developed, and there's going to be a reason why the two of them were there and now on the island together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like when I watch it now, it's like if someone were watching Lost now, and they got to that episode, I mean, it would be really hard for me not to just tell them don't get too excited about it.
Was it ever explicitly stated that she remembers Hurley from back then?
No.
Okay, because I feel like she almost shouldn't. As crazy and drugged up as she probably was, like that would at least make me feel better of why she doesn't just say, "Oh yeah, I was at Santa Rosa," because that was such a hazy time for her, maybe.
Right. Right. But I think she knows she was there.
Well, yeah, she knows that she went, but in terms of like what are the memories of the people she saw and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if she necessarily remembers Hurley, but I think she knows that's a good chance that's why he recognizes her. Since she knows he was there too.
Mm-hmm.
And like she knows she was there, and so it's like it very well could be that's where that came from, and and she probably realizes that and really doesn't want him to know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why not? Why did you go crazy, Libby? What are you hiding, Libby? And it's just like nothing really, but it should be something.
It should be something.
And why didn't they follow up on that? I really don't know. I mean, I do know that it was kind of a last minute decision to have her die with
because of the DUI incident.
Ana Lucia. Well,
the urban legend.
That's the urban legend. I mean, we'll never really know what happened. The claim was that they thought that it would add something to the scene, which it does actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it was shocking.
It's more tragic. She's about to go on her picnic date.
Exactly. Well, and it's just kind of shocking the first time because Michael shoots Ana Lucia, and there's like enough drama there.
Yeah.
So then Libby's like, "Hey," and then boom, she's dead too, and you're like, "Wow, this has gotten like really out of control."
And then Saeed comes in and he gets shot, and then Sawyer comes in and he gets shot, and then Kate comes in and she gets shot. They actually did that scene in Lost. Of course, it was red shirts, but remember?
That's what I was gonna say.
With Jughead, yeah, when they're trying to transport the bomb component, and they just keep coming out and getting.
Oh my God. That scene was hilarious.
All that's missing is the Benny Hill music.
No, there was a scene like that also in season 4 when like Kimi's team was raiding the barracks, and I remember Sawyer was like, "Get out of there!" and they come out like one at a time and get shot.
Yeah.
It was just like a good thing none of you were under contract, because like, man, you just all died. It's amazing how like the main characters figure out ways to live and everybody else is just kind of fucked.
It's amazing. It's almost as if somebody's writing their lives.
It really feels that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally. That it could have.
If somebody was writing their lives, it'd make more sense, right? Because they could plan it out.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be the answer.
Yeah, but I think typically a scene like that, like I could see it just being Ana Lucia, and like it's sort of reasonable to me that that's how it was going to be originally. But then someone says, "Okay, what if we kill Libby too?"
Yeah.
And that'll add to it. And because I mean Ana Lucia is sort of like involved in the whole thing, but like Libby's like totally innocent.
I gotta say, that's the second time Ana Lucia has been around when a blonde got shot. Right before, like around the time of a romantic encounter with a new suitor.
That's true.
It's so random.
Very similar. I didn't think about that, but it's true. Some kind of curse she has.
Yeah, some kind of weird curse where if she's around, some blonde woman's gonna get shot.
Yeah. Well, while starting a new romantic.
Yeah. If it's Ana Lucia, a gun, and romance, and a blonde, like those four things. Yeah. Watch out.
So yeah, I that makes me think that they decided that they would rather have the moment and the shock of killing her off than to spend the time on her story later.
Yeah.
And so they just figured like whatever we were gonna do, it's not important enough, and this story matters more, so we'll just do this. Like maybe that's the point when they made the decision, because I mean it definitely feels unfinished to me.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, but hey, great last scene.
It is. I just, for any new viewer of Lost, I'm sorry that, you have to get your hopes up, But, those endings, I mean, that's one of the great things about watching Lost, is getting endings like that. Because they really mess with your expectations and what you think should happen. And I definitely agree that it's a strong ending, and I just it's just weird now, because I mean even up until season 6, like I sort of had it in my mind somehow they'll resolve this, and
season 6 was the great last hope of all unfinished Lost business.
It was. I was ready for them to do some house cleaning, and they kind of did, but Libby didn't make the cut.
No.
They sort of did a shout out, like they acknowledged the fact that they had that storyline, but they didn't really explain it. They just sort of said, yeah, she was in the mental institution. We know we said that. But we'll say no more about that. It's the afterlife anyway. No one cares. It doesn't matter. It is weird that she's in a mental institution in the afterlife also.
Suggesting she didn't get over that or something? Maybe she didn't change as much as she should have, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember that whole thing now. She was trying to get Hurley, and yeah.
Exactly. She saw him on the TV, and she was like, I know that guy. And of course she sounded crazy. But she should have been like, but all you people are dead, so don't even talk to me.
Don't talk to me about crazy. All you people are dead.
I feel like when it's in the afterlife, like, who are you to say who's sane? Like,
I agree. Listen, if you're dead, a dead man shouldn't throw stones at a glass afterlife. I don't know.
That's a really weird metaphor, but I agree with it in spirit, if not in the letter. I'm sure that there's a point in there that...
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you're dead. Who are you to call me crazy, It's like,
yeah, exactly.
We're all dead. Wait, we're all dead, so what does crazy mean if you're dead?
Yeah, just get over it. There's just no point in worrying about being crazy anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
But yeah, you're right. I guess that does suggest some kind of follow up. Like if she's still, you know, if she's still fixated on that period of her life to such an extent that that's where she is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I wonder if they would have developed her character more. We would have found out what drove her to the mental institution, and we would have found out just like with Hurley and Dave, like it came back on the island. Presumably another Man in Black style, manipulation of her or something of whatever her issue would have been. It probably would have been, and that's why she has that look about, yeah, Hurley, you can change, everything's gonna be great, and then her face drops because she just has a facade that she's all nice and happy and well adjusted now, but she's gonna break down at some point.
But like deep down, there's all this like craziness bubbling up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. That's what it feels like. That feels like that's where we're headed now in the next episode.
Yeah, and then that, because that would make sense to me. That's why they gave her that that Flash Sideways storyline. Nodding to that idea of, well, this, if she would have had more time on the island, this would have been reflected in that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like the next episode can be Libby centric, and we'll find out all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to happen because they had to do a Rose and Bernard episode.
Oh. SOS!
Oh, God. Can't wait for that one. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I have to say, I mean, it's got its crappy parts, but it wasn't that bad of an episode. I mean, I think it was reasonably good. It definitely had a good ending. And there were parts that kind of worked.
Yeah, there were definitely parts that worked. I just think you get, it's very, the Dave character is just very annoying. I think that's the biggest problem is he's manipulative, and you get it, even if, regardless of what you think about his existence, just him being in scenes, he's just very antagonistic, and it's very irritating. To just watch those scenes and see him, poke and prod Hurley and really on the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So it's just kind of irritating to watch, but but that's the point, I'm sure.
Yeah,
for him to be irritating.
Yeah, no, that definitely is the point, but that doesn't necessarily make it fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the food issues thing. Like, it's nice that now we can finally just let go of that, and let Hurley have some other storylines.
Yeah,
because I guess now that I think back, like that's what season 2 has focused on, because Hurley's 2 episodes are really centered around the food problems.
Yeah.
Whereas season 1, numbers, like that really wasn't about food problems, and in season 3 it's his dad and stuff.
It's weird to me that Jack and Kate found the pallet of food, apparently left it there, and then I guess told people, and then they had nothing else to do with it after that. Jack didn't say, well, as the de facto leader of this island, I should make sure that this gets distributed evenly, make sure there's rationing, he just kind of didn't seem to care.
No, it looks like they just left it there, and they were like,
no investigation of where it came from. Are there more? Anything like that.
Yeah.
Look at the parachute. Maybe there's a tag on the parachute about who made it. Hit Widmore. Like things like that. Totally.
No, that's a good point. I mean, that is one of those things that never bothered me when the show was running, but it is clear that like a lot of the characters don't really care about certain mysteries very much.
Yeah.
And so they really are not deeply interested at all. In fact, not only do they ignore it in this episode, but I'm pretty sure they're never gonna wonder again where that came from.
Yeah. And honestly, it's they kind of did their lost trick where Hurley brings that pallet from the pallet drop, right, to Echo to basically destroy and dismantle, which is akin to them lighting the cabin on fire. It's kind of saying, okay, well, we're done with this.
Oh, that was from the pallet drop.
Yeah, that's from the
I
pallet
didn't really
drop.
think about it. I was like, oh, maybe that was on the plane. Ah, that was the pallet drop. Right.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. You're right. The food's been distributed. We're
Yeah,
done.
We're done with it. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. That's what that means. That's a good point. And that's why. I mean, I think.
Throughout these years, I still have a couple good points left.
Yeah. I'm sure you have many good points left.
No,
over the next 100 episodes, but
God, don't count them.
no, I mean, it's less than that, isn't it?
Oh,
I'm not
God.
sure, actually. I don't want to know.
You don't
But yeah, numbers are bad. I'm pretty sure there's a reference to pallet drops when they go to the flame station. When like Locke starts messing with that computer. I think there's like a thing where you can trigger a pallet drop.
Yeah,
I
and
think-
then Hurley has to. Charlie has to hypothesize about the pallet drop later, right?
I think
About
he
the
did
lock.
it.
Did he already?
I think he did it. Like, I think we were talking while he did it, but I think that was in this episode.
But I thought he made a connection between the lockdown and the pallet drop.
Oh, sorry. What's the thing he has to do?
Well, I thought he. I don't remember now, but I thought he's the one who somehow connects the lockdown happening when there's pallet drops.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's in this episode.
Oh, that's what he said? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Here's that scene. I think I can find it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Locke
Locke
said some kind of blast door trapped him in the hatch. Maybe it was because of this.
Yeah, that's Charlie's big theory, and I think that's supposed to be the answer, actually. But it doesn't really make sense, like that they can't see it.
Yeah, and I love Sawyer's comeback. Yeah, I saw a tattoo. I just decided not to tell. I mean, that's such a nod, right, about the fact that they don't share information.
Right.
He could be telling the truth.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
He's being sarcastic, but it could
wouldn't
easily
be
be
the
true.
first time it happened.
Yeah.
And of course, fast forward to when they actually give the explanation, i.e., the last fucking moment of the show, in the DVD extra epilogue thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's drones. It's just like automated drones that do the drones.
Which makes no sense.
So it's like it's nothing crazy that they need to hide, you know. So it's like there's no it doesn't really make sense, but I still think that's supposed to be the answer.
Wait, the answer is that is drones or the blast door map thing? I mean, the blast doors preventing people from seeing it.
Well, both, I guess. But what I really meant was the blast doors come down to keep people in while they.
But how would you even know a pallet drop is coming, right? And if you knew a pallet drop was coming and you knew the blast door map, I keep saying blast door maps, the blast door was going to come down, why couldn't you just not be there when there's a pallet drop?
No, I think they don't know. They don't know when it's coming.
Then how do you know you're going to trap somebody in the hatch?
Because they got to be in there to push the button and stuff.
Yeah, but clearly they leave.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's no guarantee it's true.
And that's the thing. It's like, why isn't them needing to press the button enough incentive for them not to be outside when there's a pallet drop?
Yeah, it's true. All very good points.
I mean, we need, but I guess they want us to take that answer. I just feel like it's, to me, the blast door should just be a security measure. You know, because there's hostiles. You know, they want to. They want to. If it's ever under siege, they can initiate the blast doors and then prevent people from getting into the sensitive computer. Like, I don't understand why that's not the answer.
Right. No, I mean, I feel like that's supposed to be true also. I mean, I feel like the blast doors are also there for for blasting and the usual not
And doors.
yeah, to serve as doors.
Yeah.
No, like I feel like that's true, but just like the reason they were triggered in that case was the drop. Like that's not their sole function.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like that's what they would say. If they had
A drone is about to let's walk through this. A drone is about to reach the island, which the island moves. So I don't know how the drone knows where the island is. Okay.
No, they get coordinates.
From the lamppost.
From the lamppost, yeah, and they talk about that in the epilogue.
Of course.
It's different coordinates every time.
Different coordinates, same island.
Yeah.
There
should be a saying.
Crazy island, different coordinate time. So then they go. So the drone's about to fly to who knows where because it does because it has coordinates, but it could be anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
Except
it's usually South Pacific.
Except Hawaii. So it's about to drop the food. So it radios the Swan Station to trigger the blast door maps to come.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how does it work? I would say. Let me see. What's my answer?
I wish I had the Jeopardy music right now.
No, here it comes. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
No, I think actually they just come at regular intervals. So I think probably it's just automated.
So we're supposed to believe it's just awful. So we're supposed to believe we've got
it's all God.
We've got two people, a two-person team in the Swan Station, needing to press the button every 108 minutes. Okay. And on regular intervals, blast doors come down. When the blast doors come up, somehow they know there's a pallet somewhere. They have to get the food. Must be for them. You restock the Swan Station.
Yeah, exactly.
So why that? I just don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm preaching to the choir, of course, but it's like, what is the point of trying to block them from seeing the drone drop the pallet? They know it's coming from somewhere, and by the way, the people in the hatch should be Dharma employees. Yeah. So why hide that Dharma is supplying them with food?
What? Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's confused because they in part they want to sell us. They don't want to sell it, but they want to at least make it plausible. They want us to okay, sorry. I'm going to have to rephrase this like 10 times. They want us to consider the possibility that the Swan, and Ben brings it up in the episode, at least like this sort of idea, the possibility that the Swan is just a science experiment, like a psychological experiment. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, this blast door thing and the pallet drop, I could see that being part of a psychological experiment. Somehow that makes more sense.
If the pallet of food showed up without a parachute on it, I would totally buy that. The fact that it has a parachute on it tells whoever finds it came from a plane, thereby negating the fact that how it got there. To me, the experiment would be this food showing up, right? And it shouldn't matter how it should matter how it got there if you're trying to hide how it got there.
Right.
But if it has a parachute on it,
it can't really come from very many places.
Yeah, it's not like anyone's gonna think, oh, they catapulted it from the other side of the island, you know, or
Right.
like it just appeared out of thin air, or there's an underground bunker, a machine that just puts it. You know, I just don't. It just
Yeah.
it clearly
But
is coming from a plane. So what point does it make
Yeah.
to try to hide the fact that it's coming from a plane?
But okay, it's just open. You're right. The acknowledgement. You're right. Okay. Having stated that you're right, let me just continue. So, like, the general idea that they want to hide stuff, like if they're subjects of a psychological experiment, they're not like official Dharma employees necessarily. Like, if this is some kind of thing, like the idea that they would want to hide things, like they might want to hide the way they're dropping it or whatever. Like I can sort of like vaguely when you specifically say what's
Like,
going on.
is it going to mess up is it part of the experiment, or I should say, is it going to mess up the experiment if the subjects think a helicopter brought it versus a plane? You know what I mean? Like, there's only like a
Right.
couple options here.
Yeah, no. Like when you actually talk about this case specifically, it doesn't work. But just a general idea of like secrecy, like makes sense to me in that context.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they're going for.
But secrecy, what you're keeping secret should matter.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know,
I agree.
a secret for a secret's sake, I don't understand what that does. I mean, I understand. I mean, I get your broad point, right? I understand, like, in a broad sense, yeah, these are the kind of variables and measures one might take in an experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's kind of like,
Or even like the idea of the blasters coming down is a part of the experiment, or even something like that, like I could imagine them trying to make up some scenario where that's the case. I don't think it really works, and of course that's not the answer. So it's sort of like, it's
I
not.
think, I just think they should have not had the parachute on the pallet. Then the audience would have been really freaked out how it got there. Then you could actually have some plausibility in terms of, oh, well, maybe what they want the subject or the audience to think is when the blast doors come down, the people are trapped in the hatch while the administrators of the experiment set up the food drop.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want any interference from the subjects who might be venturing out during that 108 minutes. I could totally buy that.
Yeah.
But if you put the parachute on it, you're telling whoever finds it came from the sky.
Yeah.
Or you're at least making them wanting to believe. Now, I mean, I guess you could go the other way with that theory, right? And say, well, I mean, we know it's from Jones, but you could say, okay, maybe it's not from Jones, and they just put a parachute on it.
They put a parachute on there to make them think.
It was from Jones.
From.
And
that's why they need the blast door.
For maps, because I keep saying maps. That's the blast door because because it prevents from knowing how. Well, I think I just did I just disprove my own point? I came full circle.
I mean, yeah, assuming that the Swan Station is not what it is, then you could come up with a scenario where it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh man, can we stop talking about this?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I feel like that's the idea of what they're going for in those days, so, like something along those lines. Of course, they don't define like what kind of experiment it's supposed to be, because I mean it's not the answer basically, and so like they consider the idea that it might be an experiment, but they don't consider the idea of specifically what kind of experiment is it, what are they doing, because that's not what they're doing. So there's no like follow up to that. But I could imagine if they wanted that to be, they want us to consider those kinds of possibilities. And so it could be that Charlie's answer is not the answer, but that's what they wanted us to think at the time. I mean, they at least want us to consider that possibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, I feel like it shouldn't be the answer, but
I like the idea that the blast doors are tied to the drop. I don't like that the reason is so no one would see who dropped it.
Right.
That's
Right.
my biggest problem is his that next step in his explanation.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. That part doesn't make any sense to me either.
Well, okay.
But you know what else doesn't make sense to me?
Uh-oh. Speaking of
The whole
setbacks,
show. No, I mean, like the fact that the fact that Dharma like employs people in a factory to put their labels on shit. Like, I
yeah,
really don't understand that at all. Like, why the fuck does that matter?
yeah. And honestly, if it is an experiment, why would they put the name of their group on the stuff? It should just be labeled what the stuff is and not
Yeah.
be branded.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think when they're originally imagining things like the orientation video and the idea of the Dharma Initiative is like it's part of the experiment,
Yeah.
potentially. So like I don't know. I mean, it starts getting elaborate trying to make up a scenario where it's an experiment because it's just not.
It's
true.
not an experiment, yeah.
It's just kind of weird. But like I could you could make up some bullshit where it works. That's all I'm saying.
You mean the TV show Lost?
Yes. Yes. The very same.
The very same. Hey, we should podcast about that
Oh, sounds like a good idea.
if we have time.
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe 2020.
maybe. So anything else on Dave?
Let me think. Is there anything else I want to say about Dave? Yeah, I'll just quickly say like I think oh yeah. No, I gotta say this because this is a like pet obsession of mine. So I think this is a smoke monster. Blah blah blah. That's fine. In the Lost Encyclopedia, there's a scandal. No one cares. I'm the only one that cares about the scandal. But in my mind, it's a scandal.
Mm-hmm.
So where like if you go to Dave like in the index,
Yep.
it
Doesn't exist. There's no entry.
No, that no. And there's actually two others or maybe three others, and I don't remember what they are. So that, well, okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, if you go to the index,
Yeah.
and you find Dave,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you some page numbers, right? There's one page that just talks about Dave and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another page that takes you to Man in Black manifestations, right?
Okay.
However, Dave's not listed there. Okay.
Okay.
But the index points you there, and there's two others like that. But now I can't remember what they are. Where the index points you to Man in Black manifestations.
But then when you actually go to that page about the manifestations, there's no entry for Dave.
It's not entered there, and so I think that, and I mean, this seems very reasonable to me. I strongly believe it's true that they originally had him there, and along with these other entries, and I think that someone, either Greg Nations or someone brought up, or even the people who wrote the book themselves. I feel like someone brought up, okay, the problem with Dave being the Man in Black is that he never existed, and the supposed rule about the Man in Black is that he takes the form of dead people,
Mm-hmm.
and if this guy never, that's the second part of the scandal. That's why I know it's true, because there was an interview with one of the people that wrote the Lost Encyclopedia where she actually specifically talked about Dave being a Man in Black manifestation, and she gave some kind of explanation for how he was able to do it even though he wasn't a dead person.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, the other problem is Dave was somebody Hurley hallucinated before he got to the island, which isn't a case for the other Man in Black manifestations. You know what I mean? They were people who actually existed at some point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they like Dave is not a person who lived and died.
Yeah.
You know, and that's supposed to be some kind of limitation on him. And if he can just take the form of like whatever's in your head, then that makes him quite a bit more powerful. I mean, why couldn't he take the form of Jack? You know, like Hurley can think about Jack as much as he can think about Dave.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like but I think they didn't want that to be the case. You know. Nonetheless, I still think it's supposed to be Man in Black. It's just there's some slight problems with the mythology of the smoke monster and what his powers are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the thing I have to bring up.
Scandal.
Yeah, it's a scandal. It's a scandal.
Hashtag scandal.
There's a couple of scandals like that where some stuff happened in the encyclopedia that really there's some telling indices. Let's just put it that way.
Telling indices. Wow, that's a phrase you don't hear too much ever.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, for me that was like so much fun to like see the evidence of their changes, you know.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it's like such a hot button topic, you know, like it
You do realize Lost is not on anymore, nor is this season 2.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if that button's very hot.
Okay. All right. Slight exaggeration, but you know, I guess I mean when the show was on. I mean when people care about Lost, like the smoke monster.
So you could say it was a hot button topic.
Yeah. I'll put it that way. I suppose it's not still like on the minds of Americans.
Aren't really tweeting about that right now. Like, what's Dave?
Yeah, no, it's true. There's not a lot of
that question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Exactly. But yeah, I do wonder exactly what it was. Like, who was the person who said no, don't put that in? Yeah. Like, I wonder how that happened.
I imagine like the guy walks in with the rough draft of the encyclopedia. We've got a problem, and like you zoom in on like someone, you know, behind their desk over all these papers and notes and stuff, and with their glasses tipped at the end of their nose, and they just look up and go, no.
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
And then there's that they have a big like rubber stamp that just says no, and they just stamp it on that version of it. Oh.
No, my point is like there's all these behind the scene things. I just wish I knew, you know. Yeah. And can I go on a quick Dexter tangent?
Can you?
I need to. It's not about the current season, so no. It's going to be spoilers, but it's going to be spoilers for last season, I guess, season 7. So whatever, take that for what you will.
Okay.
It's certainly not major spoilers, but spoilers nonetheless. Okay, so I was listening to trust me, I'm going to get to my point. It's going to relate.
Okay, we'll wait.
Bear with me, guys. I was listening to an interview with Michael C. Hall on the Kevin Pollak chat show. Have you heard?
I'm a big fan.
It's really good. It's really good.
He does really good impressions.
I feel like he does do very good impressions, but I feel like he's kind of like Charlie.
He's Rose. Charlie Rose, not in a black room.
Long form, yeah, exactly. Like even longer, you know.
Yeah.
Like he lets them. I mean, he goes way deeper than most interviews do, you know. And so
it's a little cross with Actors Studio because he goes chronologically through their career, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very, very. There's an Actors Studio thing going on there too, definitely. It's fun. So I recommend it if you're looking for podcasts to listen to. Anyway, so he interviewed Michael C. Hall, and obviously they talked about Dexter, and he said he asked the question, I know you're a producer on the show. Obviously, you're the star. Was there ever a plot line on Dexter that the writers brought to you and that you said to them, no, Like,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. I don't like that idea at all. Like,
Yeah. And he's like all the time.
and he was like, I can only think of one.
Okay.
And the one was, he said, there's this intern that gets obsessed with me, and he sends me the arm. You know who I'm talking about, right?
The episode they actually did.
Yeah. But what he said was that eventually that character, the Lewis, he was going to commit a serial murder to impress Dexter.
Oh.
And he said he didn't like that idea. He didn't want there to be. He thought it was too far. He didn't want there to be more than one serial killer working at Miami Metro.
Mm-hmm.
And so he told them, no, don't do that. And so that's why they wrote him down. Like they didn't make him go that. He was just like
that would have been a natural progression for his character, and it makes sense because Lewis, after all that happens, you don't like my video game, and then it's like, oh, he's gone. Okay, the end.
Exactly, and it feels like a lot of build up because they left it at a cliffhanger in season 6.
Uh-huh.
It was actually one of the better things about season 6 because season 6 is horrible. But like that cliffhanger was pretty cool. He sends him the arm from the ice truck killer, and I was pretty like excited about where they were going with that plotline. And yeah, he told that much about where it would have gone, and he said, I said no to that, and they didn't do it, and that's why they killed him off really fast.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. When I heard that, I was like, I would fucking love to be able to hear shit like that for Lost.
Yeah.
Because like I know there's stories like that for Lost.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I just, when you hear that, it totally makes sense. And it's like, sure, the Lewis story seems ridiculous, but when you know the behind the scenes, it's like, oh, of course. Like, like it doesn't bother me because now I know why it's like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be at least, 50% or 60% of the issues of Lost has to be stuff like that.
Yeah.
This would have made sense if they would have gone either continued in that direction or not started this direction or whatever the case may be, which is a Lost episode.
Yeah.
So I mean that's where, and we talked about that before, but that's definitely where a lot of the issues come from of why did this thing happen? It doesn't, why didn't they just do this one simple fix? Well, that one simple fix was an idea they didn't want to do. Somebody shut it down. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Someone said no. Or no, we have to do this, or like whatever the reason was, like someone maybe decided not to do it, and like it would have made sense, but they didn't do it.
We're living in obviously an unparalleled age of information. Spoiler alert. Specifically for movies and TV, I mean, obviously it used to be a time where you wouldn't get podcasts from actors or the writers, very more, at the very least, even like articles about really the process and what they're thinking. A show was a show. It came on and you watched at the end, and now we get this wealth of information about these decisions that happen, and you get people who are podcasting and chronicling their decisions as they go on, during production, and it adds this whole other layer to the experience. Yeah,
totally. Ron Moore, he on his podcast, he gave a whole long summary of his like 3-page outline of the end of Battlestar Galactica that they had planned out before the writer's strike, which they didn't do any of, basically.
Yeah.
Like only some of the vaguest ideas that were, the specifics were all different, and only the vaguest tiny pieces of that outline made it into the show, you know.
Mhm.
And obviously the broad strokes, like them, okay, well, whatever. Let me not spoil the entirety of Battlestar Galactica. But anyway, the point is, like, it was really revealing, you know,
Yeah.
about the writing process. And like that's the kind of thing I love knowing that stuff, because like that can clarify, because then it's sometimes it's not like they're just shitty writers and they forgot what they were doing, you know.
Yeah.
Like there really was a reason why the story didn't develop the way you want it to,
Yeah.
you know, or the way you expected it, you know. And it's just that was a great moment for me, because I always thought that storyline felt weirdly truncated.
Yeah.
And I was just like, suddenly he just starts talking about this, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just got the answer to that.
Mhm. Thanks, Kevin Pollak.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that's such a cool question to ask. Like, I'm so glad he got that out of him.
Yeah.
You know, like, people don't usually ask those kinds of questions.
Mhm.
You know, to even find out that kind of thing. You know, so it was like it was really cool. So anyway, that's how that ties back.
KevinPollakChatShow.com.
Yes.
They also have videos of their podcast too, which are nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's in video form if you want to watch that. If you don't want to
Mhm.
just do the iPod thing.
Nice. Yeah, I always thought Nikki and Paulo were the supreme example of that sort of decision making at work and displaying itself on the show.
Definitely, extremely. And I have heard some things about what they were planning to do with Nikki and Paulo, and let me just say, I'm really glad they didn't do them.
Yeah.
I really am glad. Oh my god. I think I'll save them for when we get there, but let me tell you, woo, I think we're lucky with what we got.
Yeah, I think we're lucky. We got as little of them as possible, which is the luckiest you get.
And like the one episode they gave them is actually not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like that's, you know, more than you could ever really hope for.
Yeah.
You know, like it's very self-contained, but I think like for an episode like that, it works, and they use it as an opportunity to revisit some stuff from earlier in the show. You know, and so it was like it was kind of a bonus, like 2 for 1. You know.
Yeah.
It was kind of cheesy, where it's like, oh, Nikki and Paulo discovered everything before.
Yeah, that, you know, that when you're retconning, that's, you know, dangerous territory. That's a little, you know, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when it's like, oh, these two people who were, you know, arguably the least important main cast members, you know, for that season and stuff, like, did everything the people we will follow for the entire show didn't do.
Yeah. You know what? I just realized this. I hadn't thought about it before. Like, I've mentioned it a couple times, because that Nikki and Paulo episode is the one where we get to hear Ben's plan. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the closest we get to, you know, Ben explaining why he got caught and what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know? And that comes because, you know, Paulo goes down into the Pearl Station to hide the diamonds, you know, in the toilet.
Of course.
And while he's there, you know, Ben and Juliet show up.
Yep.
You know, and he listens in. I just realized, like, he heard Ben's plan, like, before it even happened. And I guess he just didn't tell anybody.
You know, then he'd have to explain what he was doing.
Yeah.
And you know, and then he couldn't tell anyone, right? Because since it's a retcon, he can't tell people about something they haven't found out yet, right? Because he can't say, I found the Pearl Station. They don't know what the Pearl Station is yet. So it wouldn't have made any sense.
It's a whole extra level, yeah. And I saw Juliet, even though they haven't cast, you know, yet. And it's just like it's too many levels of ridiculous. But it's like he says, "I'm going to use Michael," and so he knows. Henry Gale's another. He's planning to use Michael to get Jack to do the surgery,
Yeah.
and he knows this. He knows this in like around like season 2, episode 8.
And
or
that's the
something.
thing, like season 2 would be different if Nikki and Paolo were actually in the show this season,
Right.
and could share that information with the people.
Yeah, but like it never bothered me until just now that he like it just
Yeah.
having saying that he knew that creates problems because it's like
I wonder why they didn't just shoot the same thing with Paolo hiding, but unable to really hear what they're saying.
yeah.
And just let the audience see what they're saying. I don't know why they didn't just do
May-
that.
Maybe we're supposed to believe that he couldn't really understand them.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I mean I don't know. It feels like the scenes from his perspective, at least in my memory.
At least how they shot it. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think they did shoot it like he's peeking out from the bathroom.
Exactly, which makes it
he could
seem
hear
like,
everything, but
yeah, it makes it seem like he's hearing them, but it's like, but then it's like the problem of the secrecy of the hatch, remember the Lost Diary, where they were like, I think my brother's in there.
I got my brother in the hatch. I won't rest until I get him out.
And he's like, oh yeah, that's right, my brother's dead.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. But anyway, like the larger point is that they were they were keeping secrets. Like a lot of people didn't even know that they had been in there.
Yeah.
It's like it's possible that Paolo didn't even know that they had this guy in there. And if he had, like, he could have warned them.
It's weird how Wait a minute. What? How did Charlie say that Locke said the blast doors came down? Locke has been in the hatch the whole time. He can't walk around because his leg is hurting. So how did Charlie even find that out?
Maybe someone told. Maybe like Jack told him, or.
But why would anybody? Why would anybody mention? I don't know. That's the thing about the secrecy, right? Why would you mention blast doors? If you're hiding a secret down there.
Yeah, no, it's
Weird.
true.
I mean, maybe you have to explain why Locke isn't around. Oh, he hurt his leg. How did he hurt his leg? Oh, blast doors came down.
Right.
But that's still, I don't know. That's a little suspect to me. And Jack didn't seem to inquire about the blast doors.
Yeah.
So in the first part of this episode, when he's helping him with his leg, there was no investigation. There was no more to that. No more questions there.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's because they all have the sickness, which makes them not investigate mysteries, right?
The other sickness.
Yeah.
The second sickness. The
Is.
unexplored second.
The one there's no vaccine for.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's true. And like Ben has his line, you guys don't even seem that curious. And it's like I think they knew, but like at least part of the problem is that they can't give away too much at this stage. And so I feel like that kind of manifests itself as like the characters aren't very proactive about figuring things out.
Yeah.
And furthermore, they usually keep secrets, But yeah, it's true that like no one. Of course, Locke didn't mention the blast door map. He mentioned the blast doors, but I don't think he mentioned.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's a selfish asshole.
Of course. Yeah. No, he wants it for himself.
Yeah.
And I think pretty soon he's going to try to like redraw it for himself, which is going to be kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It's true. So yeah, that's just an example of like how they don't investigate things very thoroughly and they keep secrets, and as a result, they learn things very slowly.
Just enough pace to keep America and the rest of the world on the edge of their seats.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Well, we somehow turned Dave into a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I pulled that one out of my ass. I guess I managed to bring in some tangents there, but I think they were semi-relevant at least.
Yeah, at least.
That's all. That's all I aim for. If I can hit semi-relevance, I'm
Mhm.
happy.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, I will call it.
Anything else semi-relevant?
No, my semi-relevant comments have ended. Thank
Alright.
you.
Into the semi-relevant segment. The SRS.
I guess it's the green room. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I forgot about the green room.
The green room.
Yeah. This is like a post-episode green room.
Yeah. Oh, was it before the episode?
Yeah, I think the green room was before. You know, you're waiting before you go out on stage or whatever.
You're right. You're right. It's a post-episode green room.
Yeah.
It was kind of random, but I wanted to share that on a podcast somewhere. So why not now?
There's no reason. No reason at
Exactly.
all.
Exactly.
All right. Well, until next time, thanks and namaste.
Namaste. Good luck.